What's up, guys?
Hey y'all.
My name is Khalif, and this is my fiance, Venice. Today we want to do a topic that was really, really important to us. Um, and hopefully, our viewers can relate to that as well. What we want to do today is our first pregnancy with our child, Brianna, at a young age, she was 17 at the time, I was 18. So we want to get into a conversation with that.
Yep.
So how do you feel?
Pregnant at 17? Well, actually, everybody thinks that I was pregnant at 17, but it was directly after I turned 18. So I think you were turning 19 that year.
Yeah, I was turning 19. What was we doing that year? I think I was at Burlington. I was working at Burlington.
Mm-hmm.
That's when y'all was in the process of moving.
Mm-hmm.
I remember your dad had an event out at the park in West Brighton. If y'all don't know what West Brighton is, that's an area on Staten Island. There was an event in the park. We all went over there, hot day, walking around the park. We decided to sit down on the field. There was a huge earthquake that day, and she happened to pass out that day on the field. And
Passed out in your house.
On the field first, she was getting. You passed
well,
out.
we
in
left
the
because
elevator.
I wasn't feeling well.
All right. She wasn't feeling well, so we wound up leaving the park and wound up going back upstairs to my house, and she wound up passing out in the elevator. So I had to carry her from the elevator to my house, got her in my house, laid her down on my couch, got in touch with her mother, and that's
Cooked
when
for me.
Yeah, made her. What I cook for you?
You made me an egg sandwich, and then you gave me like a gallon of water.
Yeah, so she ate good that day.
After I passed out.
Yeah, but we was just trying to figure out why she passed out. Like I said, we got in contact with her mother.
And she took me to the hospital.
Yeah.
But prior to this passing out, I actually passed out a week before that at my aunt's house. I was getting my hair done, just washing my hair out. And the next thing I know, I just blacked out and I passed out in the bathroom. And my mom came in. And as soon as she walked in, I ran to the toilet and I just started throwing up everything that I ate. But I still did not think that I was pregnant.
I remember that call like it was yesterday. Like,
Mm-hmm.
You called me crying, all that. We're trying to figure out what.
And then I hit my head on the tub, and that was a mess.
Yeah.
So.
Oh wait. Before that, there's one more. Before that, remember when Fatima was going back down south?
Oh yeah.
At the time, my sister was dating a guy from North Carolina.
Sorry, Fatima, we telling your business.
Yeah. So, she wanted to go back down south to be with her man. So we went with her to Port Authority. We dropped her off at her bus, and we're walking back to our train. All of a sudden, she throws up everywhere.
Right where a maintenance worker just finished mopping the floor, and honestly, I knew he was mad. He just walked away completely. That was, when I tell you, I've never thrown up as much in my life than that moment. I threw up all over the place. And then there happened to be a bathroom. So I ran into the bathroom. Coincidence, right? And I was just throwing up blood, throwing up I was just throwing up. And it would not stop. We was there for 20 minutes?
Yeah, a long time.
I was crying,
I
everything.
was there for a while.
So then when we got back to your house, we went to sleep. I called, because I had called my parents. I couldn't call them when it happened because my phone had died. And I'm telling my dad, and the first question he asked, "Are you pregnant?" But I'm like, no. And I said no because prior to that, I took a pregnancy test with a friend, and it came out negative. First response, is that the brand? They suck, y'all. I'm telling you, because no. Now back to at the hospital.
Yeah.
when we got to the hospital, my mom, they were running so many tests, y'all. We were there for hours, and they kept running the pregnancy test, like, the blood one, and it kept saying that I wasn't pregnant. So then, they kept doing it, and finally the lady came back, and they had a little bit of the pregnancy hormone, and she goes, well, you're pregnant. And I'm like, wait, what? And she was just like, yeah, it's hard for us to believe too, because they couldn't get they didn't get anything that I was pregnant. So then I went to go do a sonogram, and I was 4 months pregnant. 4 months. I was still getting my menstrual cycle. Crazy. And it's funny because after that moment, that's when it finally stopped. I was and what else? I was still getting that. Pregnancy tests, they even did a few pregnancy tests. None of them came out. Actually, that whole pregnancy with Brianna, I did not a pregnancy test never came out positive. Like, it wouldn't. So that was kind of crazy.
All I remember was that whole time your mom came and got you, we went to the hospital. The whole time I sat outside waiting for an answer to see what was wrong with you, why you was passing out, why you was throwing up. Nobody had a clue what was wrong with you. So I'm sitting out there for at least an hour and a half, 2 hours, while y'all are behind a closed spot.
At the emergency room, yep.
So then, like I said, an hour and a half, 2 hours later, they finally opened up the cloth, and they said I could come in. Your mother's sitting there. You're laying there, like, looking into space, like you just seen a ghost or something. And your mom is just out of it.
Not talking to nobody. Then we get home.
So, you got home and what?
Still nothing. Everybody was asking me what was wrong, like your parents. I'm like, oh, they don't really know, whatever. So right before we went to bed at night, he was about to play a game on his computer. And I was like, yeah, but I got to talk to you, So found out that I was pregnant, right? I think I told you like that, but before I can get it out, I just started busting out crying. I'm like, and...
At first, I really thought that you was joking. Like, I really thought that you was playing.
Because he made a face, and I said, oh, you're going to leave me, and all this other stuff like that. So then I was just like, I'm leaving.
Hold on. Stop talking for a second. You ain't say it jokingly like that. She burst out crying. Because she thought that if she told me that she was pregnant, that I was going to leave her. And then that was just going to be it between me and her. But how I was raised with both of my parents. And it wasn't going to be... She was raising a baby that I helped her, or I had a part with. I was going to let her raise that baby by herself. I was raised with both of my parents, and she was as well. So there was no ifs, ands, or buts that I was going to take care of my child. So that's what it was.
Yeah. And then we got little Brianna. And then, honestly, the second... Because remember, I had just graduated from high school, so... I was supposed to be going away to college, but my doctor was just like, no, you can't go away, because obviously I was having complications. They didn't even, there was no hormones.
The exact same college that I was in.
Which, that would have been a mess. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That pregnancy really was hard. Yeah. I was annoying. I didn't eat a lot.
I think I came home every weekend with a bag of gummy bears for like...
And Lay's barbecue chips.
Yeah, and a big bag of Lay's barbecue chips. Like.
And then I wanted coffee all the time. They would not give it to me. I used to cry.
I think all my friends that were up at Dowling, they could probably all contest to this. They didn't find out until, I think it was the end of the semester, where we was done for the summer. A couple months before to come home for the summer. And then I told them, like, yeah, I'm about to have a baby. And it was like, what? It was like shocked. Like, yo, you're mad quiet. Like, I was like, for real. Like, I'm about to have a baby.
People thought that we were hiding it, though. And we weren't, because after, like, we've had our conversations, my mom started planning our baby shower, which over 100 people were at. And... Yeah. It wasn't that it was a secret. It was just that I had so many complications that it was just like, it was hard. It was hard. And, you know, it was the first time experiencing it, so it wasn't that. And plus, we were also in the process of moving to Jersey and then finding out I was pregnant, then moving back. And then it was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah. That our baby shower for Bria came out really well.
Yeah, my mom.
Everybody that helped out, it turned out to be a beautiful day.
A big party.
You know, we had her godmother help us out. We had your mother make all the decorations. Your Aunt Wendy, you know, help out with the food and stuff. We had cousins and stuff come from
my
Jersey.
aunts, they was stealing all my pineapple in the bag. Yeah, I remember
that. My sister came up from Maryland. My cousin came.
She was, and then too, I appreciate your sister too when she came up, because that was our first time meeting, and she jumped in like, you need help, you need this. Like, she was helping out everybody, so I appreciate her for that. Yeah. Man, she's a good person. She crazy. She a good person.
She alright. And she's alright though. But
y'all twins.
17 and having a baby, it definitely was hard. Cause, you know, after Brianna was born, for a little while, I wasn't working. We wasn't working, and it was really hard.
Cause we wanted better. It was hard because we wanted so much. And, you know, you're young, fresh out of high school, fresh out of, like, a few semesters in college. And it's just, like, you want the world. And it doesn't work like that. Yeah. No, you got to work. Yeah. You have to work.
From that point on, like, we worked our asses off.
You always made sure you were working.
I mean, I probably went, what was it, like, probably 6 months, 7 months not having a job. Then we got that grocery store job. We stayed
you got
there
more
for
hours than me. The woman there thought he was cute, so he got more.
We was there for the grand opening. We've been there for, what, 6 months, 7 months?
Not even. I think I was only there for a couple of months.
I know I wasn't. I know we wasn't there for a year. Nowhere near.
No. But you were there longer than me.
Yeah,
Definitely.
So, Venice, she would have like breakdowns, crying, coming home. I would come home from work. She'll be crying. You know, they don't like me. You know, all I want to do is make money. You know, we got to make money for our child. And I'm like, you know, it's not like that. It's just, you just had a baby, so you got to relax a little bit more than I do. And I was just killing them with hours, even though they messed up my name on my checks. And some weeks they didn't have my check. I still sat there all day long and worked my ass off. You know, yes, lo and behold, this one here just upgraded on me, like
went to PC Richards.
Yeah, went to PC Richards. She worked there for at least
3 years. I was there for 3 years, like, and then I got another job.
3 years.
But then you went to Home Depot and you got promoted.
No, I didn't. No, not before Home Depot. I was at C-Town for like 6 months, 7 months. Then I worked at Richmond County Ambulance.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
For what, 2 months, 3 months?
I don't remember, honestly.
I worked there. It was a short amount of time. Then we felt like, you know, for the time that our child was young, maybe I should go back to school.
Oh, yeah. And you were, yeah.
So I tried going back to school. I enrolled into Vaughn College in Queens. Now, traveling from Staten Island to Queens College, not Queens College, to Vaughn College is a hassle. I had class at 8 o'clock in the morning. I would have to get up probably at like 4 o'clock in the morning, catch the ferry, catch the 4 train all the way up to 125th, then get on the M60 all the way to damn near LaGuardia Airport and do that every single day. I mean, I was getting good grades, but I couldn't do it.
It was hard. It was hard. And working.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Bree was an excellent baby, though. She was so perfect, so chill.
Yeah.
She was a chill baby.
Then after Vaughn College, I got Home Depot. I worked at Home Depot for 3 years. Got promoted there to department head. And then, you know, I got MTA.
Right when we found out about pregnancy number 2. That was amazing.
Yeah.
We found out. And then you got an email. Was it right after the holidays?
It was, when was it? It was December of, it was, right after my birthday. It was right after Thanksgiving of 2015. Got a letter in the mail, and I got an email that I had to be in the Bronx at the MTA headquarters 7 a.m. in the morning to do all my paperwork and everything.
Amazing.
But if y'all remember, at the time, there was a huge snowstorm.
Oh, yeah.
A huge snowstorm.
It was the biggest of that year. Early 2016 in January. Yeah. And
so, at the time, I had no car. I didn't have my car then, right?
No, you had your car.
I had it?
It's just that I don't think you wanted to drive all the way out there. I think you you drove down to the ferry and then...
I had my car. I had to get up at least at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning just to get there. I got there an hour late. Get there an hour late. They bring me in the office. And what they made me do was they made me resign from my position. And they put me back on the waiting list for the next class. And they basically, I didn't know it was going to be for the next class. They just told me I had to wait until they called me. And they said that could be from the next month or the next year or a couple years. I had no clue.
But it was literally the next month. It was actually a couple weeks later.
No, because remember I worked at Home Depot, and then that's when the manager at Home Depot went and resigned me.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Because they caught wind that he got another job. But even so, that wasn't their business.
But me and the manager was talking about it. And I told him eventually I was going to resign. But I don't want to resign just yet. And he just went ahead and resigned me. And then I couldn't get my position back because they said that I resigned. So I had no choice.
Yeah, that was a mess.
Right.
It was ridiculous.
So I was out of work.
For like 2 months.
I had a car payment to deal with. I had insurance. I had a
Kids.
baby.
A baby on the way.
I gotta take care of myself. So
it was a lot.
What I did was I went on unemployment. I was on unemployment for about 3 months. They called me back in early March. To be back in Zarega in the Bronx. At 7 a.m.
But the reason why I had took so long from January to March, because I guess the way the MTA was scheduled, remember, like with drug tests, like you have to do it on a certain day, right? Yeah. Like you have to have it in a certain amount of time before the next class starts. If you work a city job, you know, they all kind of messed up in there. So he would come and do it, but then they'll be like, oh, but the cutoff day was yesterday. Yeah. So, and then he had to keep doing it. But it is what it is.
Yeah, for everybody that's out there that is getting a job with MTA and is going through the process with MTA, how they do it is every 2 weeks there's a graduation class. So in 2 weeks there's gonna be a new class coming in. Another 2 weeks there's gonna be a new class coming in. When that class comes in, that's when it's okay for you to come in and do your paperwork. That's when they'll call you to come in and do your paperwork. They just so happen to call me. It seems like when there was a new graduation class every single time, I had to get at least 3 drug tests, like, and pass them all somehow. But I passed them all.
Somehow everyone's gonna be like, "What you mean?" Nah.
But it is what it is. I'm grown. We all grown. Yeah, I passed it. I passed probation. I'm on probation now. And now I'm looking to get to top pay and, you know, finish my career off. I'm ready to retire right now, honestly, I feel like. But I got a long way to go.
We all got a long way to go.
Oh, yeah.
But, yep. Pregnant at 17. That's the real story. Yeah. So, like I said, we weren't hiding it.
Yeah, we got a little
wasn't a big
track,
deal.
Nah.
We picking stuff up now.
I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody that you told when you got pregnant, they all supported you. And
yeah, everybody did.
I know.
And the people who needed to be there were there.
Or everybody, like everybody. Like I know everybody at Home Depot that I told, they all supported me. From my old boss, all my department heads, all my employees that I work with, they all were supportive of it. Everybody back at Dowling, they all were supportive of it. Everybody, even the people that I met for the 1 year before, prior of that, and I let them know that I was cool with, they was all like, listen, you know, you're having a child, but make sure you at least try to get back into school, or make sure you take care of your child and do what you got to do. And, you know, I appreciate everybody for, you know.
And it was important for us to stick together, which we're definitely going to talk about that in a future video. Talk about how we stuck together, because, I mean, it wasn't easy, but it wasn't necessarily the hardest thing sometimes. But,
yeah.
Yep, guys.
Yeah. So, you know, once again, we want to tell everybody we appreciate the support that you're giving towards this page right now. We appreciate all the support that you've been giving towards us and our family, our 2 little kids that you watch grow. But we're gonna end this vlog right now.
Yep.
There will be another, you know, topic
Chit-chat
like this coming up. So please stay tuned.
Yes, and let us know what you guys want to see. I mean, we could talk about everything. We're definitely an open couple.
Or, like, we've been through it all.
Yes.
We've been together 7 years.
Yes, y'all.
Right.
So
7 years.
From high school, and now,
now she's
we
my
in our
fiance.
20s. Yes.
Now she's my fiance. So
yeah,
we want to thank you, and we'll see you next episode.
Yes, guys.
My name is Khalif.
And I'm Venice.
And yeah.
Peace, y'all.